I just don't know how to feel about this, guys. This is not good. This is bad. This is not a good thing to happen at a club. Again, as well, it's not the first time in recent history where we've had to strip captaincy from one of our players. The breaking news this morning that Aubameyang is no longer club captain. You can see the statement here released on the Arsenal website. And I've watched the press conference live with Mikel Arteta. And as always, he's kind of dodged and skirted the question a little bit. He hasn't elaborated on it anymore. We don't know the full details here. It's not good, though. It's not good. He's your club captain. And this is all the statement is, just this. Following his latest breach, Aubameyang no longer captain. And he's not considered for tomorrow's game against West Ham. He's not in the squad. My guess is he won't be in the squad for a week or two, potentially. We expect all our players, particularly our captain, to work to the rules and standards we have all set and agreed. We are fully focused on tomorrow's match. I mean, I saw it coming. You know, everyone saw it coming. I mentioned it in Operation Arsenal after the game against Southampton, where, of course, we won without him and he wasn't included. We kind of had an inkling that, you know, he'd obviously breached some protocols to do with COVID. He was late back from being abroad. Okay, let's talk about the rumours. Okay, what happened? Why has Aubameyang broken the rules and regulations? And what's the latest? So, from what I understand, he travelled to France, I believe it is. Aubameyang's mum has been suffering with some illnesses. We heard that last year. She had some issues, and you know he took, I think, a couple of weeks away or a couple of games away, and that's fine. You know, family comes before everything, absolutely. And I'm not saying that Aubameyang has been wronged here, because I think if this genuinely was just a family thing, look, his mum's sick, he had to stay there longer, the club would have been fine with that. That's not what we're talking about here. And I just want to reiterate, though, that should be fine. If your family is having issues and it's an emergency, of course, the player should be allowed to leave indefinitely. You know, if they need a couple of months, that's just what it is. It's life. Family comes before everything. And your own health, of course. Your health comes before everything. So that's fine. But if that was the case, if he needed to go to France and stay there for that extra day, all he had to do was notify the club, and I'm sure they would have been upset by it, of course, because we need our best players. Best players. At the moment, he's not one of our best players, but certainly we need that leadership, the captain, to be back with the club as soon as possible. But of course they would have allowed it. So something else has happened here. Something else has happened. There were pictures of him getting tattoos just a day or two before the game. He has breached protocols, and it's not the first time. It's happened again. And this is what I was mentioning in my video last game against Southampton in the review. This is not the first time that Aubameyang has breached regulation, and especially when it comes to COVID regulations. You know, him breaking the rules puts the rest of the team at risk. If he re-enters the bubble, so to speak, and has COVID and didn't focus on those regulations and make sure he's healthy and fit and safe, that puts the entire club at risk. We could end up forfeiting games, or, you know, in most cases, the games are postponed, which of course isn't good either. We're seeing it at the moment in England and around the world, that especially in the Premier League right now, at least, it's in the headlines, that a lot of clubs are struggling with positive cases of COVID. Bubbles are being breached, especially around Christmas, with lots of family things going on and an incredibly busy fixture list. Things happen, of course. But what you don't want is one of your players, let alone your captain, your leader, breaching protocols multiple times. And this, to me, screams that it's happened before, multiple times behind closed doors. Things that have happened that we don't know about. There are rumours that certain players and staff members have been feeling like this for a while with Aubameyang, that he's not captain material off the pitch and that he is constantly bending the rules. And I've heard that Arteta has been quite lenient with Aubameyang, and this was kind of the final straw. So it had to be done. It had to be done. He had to have his captaincy removed. And we can see here, and by the way, great account to follow, AFC Stuff. Big fan of that page on Twitter. These are recent captains since 96. Tony Adams, Patrick Vieira, Thierry Henry. We won't talk much about Gallas. And look, Fabregas obviously didn't end very well, but fantastic captain at the time. Van Persie, oh my God, this is actually getting worse. Vermaelen. But then we go into, I think, a very strong few years of captaincy. Mikel Arteta, current manager, was a fantastic captain for us and was so for 2 years. Mertesacker also carried that armband with honour for 2 years. Koscielny, also one of our best centre-backs. Honestly, I don't understand why Koscielny isn't regarded at the very highest as it goes with centre-backs. He's been one of the best in the Emirates era. And then, of course, Granit Xhaka, tough one to talk about because, of course, he lost the captaincy armband after the game against, was it Crystal Palace? And, you know, we saw him storming off the pitch. He was having some really bad performances and, of course, threw the shirt and the armband on the floor. Disrespectful. And then, of course, Aubameyang took over. And, you know, I've said it multiple times that it's not just about on the pitch, it's off the pitch. And on the pitch, he's not doing enough. He hasn't been for a while. I don't think you could do this. You couldn't remove his captaincy based off just his performances on the pitch. I think that would be very harsh. But when you combine it with what's going off the pitch, and of course, that's the main problem here. The main issue is that he's breached protocols. He's bent the rules too often. It had to be done. Look at this, by the way. Another account I recommend Arsenal fans follow. Chris Wheatley, he gets a lot of the stuff out there quicker than anyone. Aubameyang's agent posting on Instagram just pictures of Aubameyang lifting trophies. Apparently this tweet has been deleted. Oh dear. Interesting. Very interesting. Why is his agent on Instagram posting pictures? I'm sure, you know, and it wouldn't surprise me if the agent is just doing his job and that's protecting his player and making it seem like he's been done wrong here. But I've just listened to the Mikel Arteta press conference, and apparently Aubameyang accepted it right away. He didn't fight it. He accepted that he'd done wrong again, and according to Mikel Arteta, these are his exact words. He took it eye to eye. They had a meeting, and that was it. I don't think Aubameyang has necessarily taken this in a bad way and is now going to be getting the hump. And I'm sure he's obviously devastated. He's Arsenal captain. He's been here for so long now, and he's done so well for us up until the last year or so. It's a tough situation, man. One of the best things about Arsenal Football Club this year, the last, especially since the first 3 games, we've seen a real togetherness this season. The club seem really tight. They've got a really good relationship between staff and players. Arteta's a young manager. I'm sure that helps. He's one of them almost. He's only recently retired from football, really, in recent years. And I feel like this could be the beginning of a real divide. There will be players that will be shocked by this news and upset by it, especially the close friends of Aubameyang. I'm sure Lacazette will be right in the middle of this because he is vice-captain at the moment. How's he meant to feel? I think what you've got to remember, though, is this is Aubameyang's fault. We don't know the full story. We don't know why he was delaying his return to England from France. And, you know, the one thing that you can take from it is it has to be non-personal reasons, because otherwise it would have been probably okayed by the club. If a player returns late without a valid reason, then of course it's a breach of regulations and protocols, and that falls on them. As I mentioned earlier, if he called the club the night before and said, look, I know I'm meant to be back tomorrow morning for training, whatever, do my COVID testing, I'm really sorry, my mum's taken a turn, or I need another few days, the club would have been upset by it, but they would have allowed it. So for me, that's out of the question. There's no way. This is 100% Aubameyang bending the rules. He couldn't be captain anymore. It's done. So where does that leave the Arsenal squad? Who is going to be captain? I've heard Ødegaard is in the front running for this, and I'm not so sure about that. The guy's only been at the club permanently for, the first half of the season, and he was on loan last year. I feel like maybe in the future you could look at Ødegaard being a club captain, but for now I think I'd want to be passing this over to one of the players that starts regularly and isn't on his way out, which is why I think Lacazette is ruled out. I don't see Lacazette being captain for 6 months being particularly beneficial. I mean, maybe let him do it and then he'll be off. I mean, there's no doubt that Lacazette's leaving, and Aubameyang definitely is leaving now, maybe in January. Who knows? He might have played his last game. The thing is, we've got to get this captaincy right. I think it's 11 captains in 14 years or something. That's pretty unheard of. I feel like that doesn't happen very often at a lot of clubs, and it's just yet again more issues off the pitch for Arsenal causing this to happen. I'm of the opinion that Kieran Tierney could be a really good choice. He is still one of the young players, and there's no doubt he has leadership qualities. He's one of our main players that consistently starts when he's fit. He's not going to be leaving in the summer like Lacazette and Aubameyang are, and Pepe. I don't think I'd pass it on to Thomas Partey. I've heard Gabriel was apparently one of the names. I'm not so sure about that just yet. I've heard his English is improving, but still not quite there yet. So it's tough. It's really tough. I've seen Ramsdale and Ben White's names floating around, but I think for me it's either Lacazette or Tierney, or it goes back to Granit Xhaka, who, to be fair, since he lost his captaincy, I don't think he's necessarily done too many bad things, and I know he still gets his crazy red card situations, and he's still a liability at times, but you can't doubt that Granit Xhaka is probably the captain anyway. You see it on the pitch. Aubameyang, I love Aubameyang. Look, I said this before, that I've got like an emotional attachment to Aubameyang, and I'm genuinely upset by this news. It's not nice. He's one of my favourite players of all time. That was before Arsenal. When he joined Arsenal, I could have cried happy tears. I was so happy. For it to end like this is really, really shocking. But if I'm being dead honest with myself, he shouldn't have been made captain in the first place. To me, he doesn't seem like a captain on the pitch, and we don't know him off the pitch. We don't know what he's like in and around the training and the locker room and the changing room, and maybe he's perfect for it there, but I feel like more than anything, your captain needs to be a leader on the pitch. And I don't think Aubameyang is that player. So what can I say? You guys have been hounding me for my thoughts, and I thought I'd make a video on it. And let me know if you want more videos like this. They're really fun to just hop on my recording software and just talk, and talk about things Arsenal. And it's not good. It's not good news, guys. It sucks. It really sucks. No one wants to lose their captain in this way. No one wants to lose their captain full stop, but should he have been captain in the first place? I think that's the real question, isn't it? But thank you for watching, guys. I should be getting career mode up at 7 still today, even though I've done this video as well. There won't be a video tomorrow. As of right now, it could be just Operation Arsenal in the evening. My channel is being moved again on YouTube, so I won't have the ability to post. So we'll see what happens. It might be the review comes out on Thursday. I don't know. But we've got West Ham. It's a big, big game. And we are going to be talking about off-the-pitch things instead of on-the-pitch things. So let's hope for a good result again so we can talk about the performance and not Aubameyang. And let's just pray this isn't another Mesut Ozil situation. I don't think I could bear that again. It is just exhausting. Arsenal Football Club, never change.